What's good? It's your boy Fannon. What's going on with y'all, man? Yes, sir. Let's talk this boxing this morning. Damn, I ran out of coffee, man. God dog it. What's good, man? Whose tube is this? Mine. What's going on, man? What's going on, Ak B Brown, man? Salute to you as well. What's going on, Pasha Blaines? Shadow 979. What's going on, man? Did I say Shadow Down? Shadow 9, yeah, that's Shadow 979. Okay, what's going on, man? Mark Blake, what's going on, man? Just Blaze, what's going on, man? J Real 66, Tony Snowflakes, Ron, what's going on? Hulk Bradley, what's going on, man? Bottom of Cali, what's going on, man? Quest X, what's going on, man? Dude, you are one of my absolute positive favorite channels. I gotta hit you up here, man. I gotta hit you with the wrench, man. I look at your political videos and all that, man. I love that stuff, man. I don't really try to do. I'm gonna add you as a moderator. I hope you don't get mad that I did that. But man, because I want to, if you're in, I want to see you in blue, man. I love your work, man. I really do. Monster Madness, what's going on? Don Banks, Broderick Hunter, what's going on? Stormy B Man, Bushido Boxing, what's going on, man? Yes, sir, Monster Madness. What's going on, Eric Jenkins? Yes, sir. What's going on, man? Bottom of Cali, what's going on? I served 88. What's going on, man? All right, let me get down here. My Chris Benson's in the building. Sugar fantastic, man. Thank you, sir. Much love in the super chat. Where's the wrench? Thank you, sir. Much appreciated, man. And I am missing another. Oh, there you go. Whose tube is this mine? Don, I hope you had a great time with your daughter last night. Respect, brother. Stay teaching. Yes, sir. Oh, dog. Man, I was up with my baby playing cards till like 2 a.m, man. Playing. I think we played 500 Rummy. We were watching Buffy. We were switching between Game of Thrones and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So she'll watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then like her show is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and mine is Game of Thrones. So I'm trying to get her caught up with Game of Thrones. She's trying to get me through Buffy the Vampire Slayer, man. So it's just having a really good vacation with her, man. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. She saw that shit. She's like, what is this dude, man? Like, Alice is funny, man. She saw, because y'all don't know he's crazy. But anyway, man, so she came to me. She was like, I saw that because she subscribed to my channel. She unsubscribed. I lost my daughter as a subscriber last night. She came in and she was like, Dad, I'm unsubscribed to your videos. And I really would wish that you wouldn't show your face anymore, because somebody said that, they think that you're, that you're a white dude or something, or like not I'm a white dude, but something about me not being black and being mulatto and nonsense like that. And so it was like sad, because I was like, damn, if I lost my daughter as a subscriber, like, because she doesn't want to see. She's like, because I don't like when people criticize you, and I want to get on there onto the I want to get on and tell them about themselves. I'm like, nah, babe, you can't get on. You can't do that. You just go take yourself to your college where you got that nice chunk of change, because you're an intelligent young lady, and you go on about your life and do your business. And it is what it is, man. Hey, thanks, Quest X, man. Yeah, but that was pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad. And I don't really like talk a lot about it, man. But like we have trolls, because I got a lot of trolls, man. I have a lot of trolls, man. A lot of people that really and I find it's interesting, man. A lot of these guys are African. Like the Anthony Joshua thing with Africans. I mean, really, man, it's like I have to remind myself that this is just a few people, and there's a lot of people who really are lonely and not happy, lonely, unhappy people who really just have, just miserable people, man. But it's pretty, it was whatever it was. You know what it is. Brandon Ivy, man, what's going on, man? Fanana Great, Thompson, Georgia in the building. Crawford Khan is going to be a good one. Give Crawford some good competition. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I'm looking forward to what's going on. Tu Robinson in the building. Much love in the super chat. Much love in the super chat, man. What's going on, Mark? Main event, Mark, man. If I miss you, let me pull up this super chat thing, man. That I gotta let me pull it up, man, so I don't miss, man. I'm really bad at missing them, man. I'm gonna tell you something though, man. I really do appreciate you guys coming to the channel. It is a real it's a real pleasure to know that there really are good people that you can have good conversations with, man. You can disagree with that don't really lose their mind, man. And to all you cats, and actually, man, it's funny thing, man. When that person did that, there were cats who can't stand me. Kane was like, "Dog, that shit's fucked up." Dudes, I mean, because I don't block everybody that I don't get along with, man. Because a lot of people I don't get along with, I have conversations with. Dude was like, "Man, that shit's fucked up." What kind of person would do some shit like that? That's dog. This is boxing, man. This is boxing. It's a girl, just 17-year-old girl, man. Fuck is wrong with you, man? And who wanted to be on a video, man. That's how this kind of worm ass person this is. This is a young girl. This is a girl who I didn't want to be on the video. I was like, I don't want to do that. She's like, no, Dad, I want to do it. I want to be on your live stream with you. Because she's in the other room. They hear me doing this all the time. So she wanted to be part of it. She was like, okay, I want to do it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. No. And I told her no for the longest time, man. Told her no for the longest time. Because like, nah, I don't want to show you face. She's like, I'll be fine, Dad, whatever. So I do it. And it's a good, pleasant conversation. And she was more supportive of Anthony Joshua than I was. I don't like Anthony Joshua. She didn't know anything about it. She was hard on Deontay. My daughter don't even agree with me, man. But it was like, man, when my daughter listened to it, she was like, this dude acted like I was a prisoner in your basement. Like, as I didn't listen, I don't listen to what these dudes be. I don't listen to what people say. But this creep is like, and this is a guy that's around all those troll ass channels that comes in and out, has conversations. People put him on their channel. My daughter was like, man, this dude made it sound like, made some phallic reference with a microphone. This microphone made a phallic reference about a 17-year-old girl on a microphone. What kind of shit is that, man? She's a strong girl. She's not fading it. She knows the dude's a creep, but she's like, what the fuck is wrong? She's like, what's wrong with these people, man? It's just sad, man. When you guys don't like the LDBC, man, these people are with families, man. It's just crazy, man. Really. And I'll tell you the shit straight up. I ain't gonna fucking hide it. If you let people know that people that come at the LDBC are that type of person, then that person just absolutely humiliated. He absolutely humiliated himself, and he doesn't know it. And I'm not going to pay attention to him anymore. I didn't know who to do what, other than kicking him out of my channel maybe a year ago. Think about a year ago, I might have thrown him out because, that's what he is. Somebody you throw out. Anyway, that's why I said last night in the chat I was going to body any troll that talks shit while she's on. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's like a girl, man. You kidding me? Dude, I'm sure Anthony Joshua loves his daughter, man. I think he's got a daughter. I'm sure he loves that girl. That girl's not going to be starving. She's going to come on, man. Eddie Hearn got a daughter. Eddie Hearn's probably if Eddie Hearn's got a kid, I'm sure Eddie Hearn loves his kid. I'd never put a picture of Eddie Hearn. Can't stand Eddie Hearn. I still wouldn't doubt that the man loves his daughter. But some of those guys from Africa, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it, man. Like, what is it, man? Are you that lonely and insecure? I was on Coach Shelton Harris, dude, right? Hey, thank you, man. Shit down. Man, let me tell you, man, I'm on Coach Shelton Harris. I gave Shelton Harris, because Coach called me about it. So I gave Coach, I super chat all the time. A lot of the super chats that I get, I recycle to other LDBC channels. And dude was like, my man, Coach was like, man, yeah, people be saying Fannon ain't got it, but Fannon, I was like, damn, what? Because I don't listen to what people say. Like, oh, you think that I'm broke? Oh, some people think that I'm broke. Some people think that I'm wealthy. Some people think that I'm broke. I'm neither. I make a decent living, man. We pull in a few $100,000. Okay, we make a few $100,000 a year. That is not a rich man. I'm not broke. If I didn't do this, I eat every day, as you can look at my belly, you can see. But dog, I ain't got any reason to be. I'm not lying to y'all. I don't gotta lie to you. That's one of the reasons I started showing my face. I was like, let me just show people who I am. So if you can thinking that if I talk to you and you could see, look me in my eyes to the extent that you can do it, that you'd understand that I'm being, because you can see when somebody lying, right? Just the body language, just what they're doing, you know. But hey, man, you know, exactly, dog. Yeah, weirdos and the internet go hand in hand, man. But look, somebody says I look bad. Did somebody say I look bad? I do. Anthony Joshua has a son. Yeah, man. I wish his son nothing but happiness. And I'm sure he takes care of his boy. I have no reason to believe that Anthony Joshua, truth be told, I have no reason to believe that Anthony Joshua is not a good person. None. Now, I got reasons to believe he don't want to fight Deontay Wilder, but I have no reason to believe he's not a good person. People have asked me that about Eddie Hearn, and you know, I've never heard of Eddie Hearn robbing a fighter. I think he's being duplicitous as it concerns this negotiation with Deontay Wilder, right? And I think he's a smart ass, you know. But there's nothing that he's done that would make me believe that he is a bad person. You know what I mean? I've heard things about Bob Arum from people that know Bob Arum and been around Bob Arum. And there are things that I hear about Bob Arum that would tell me, man, I'd like to hang out with Bob Arum. Probably a good dude. I actually hung out with Jim Lampley once. Very short amount of time, maybe 15 minutes. I hung out with Jim Lampley at the Roy Jones Jr. fight. Me and a group of people. And when I met Jim Lampley, I was like, man, this is a nice guy. I was like, this dude is nice. Jim Lampley, as much as I can't stand the way that he covers fights, when I was around him, I was like, this is a genuinely nice person. This dude treated me very, very nicely. I've been around people like Gabrielle Union, who I thought was the snottiest motherfucker I ever met in my life. And to this day, I won't even watch a movie with her in it. I'm like, man, I'm not watching this chick, her or Nia, or you're around people that know Nia Long and hear how she used to treat people. That wasn't Jim Lampley at all, man. Jim Lampley was a good dude. He was a nice guy, man, who took his time to talk to people, right? I don't like the way that he did his job, but outside of his job, man, that dude everything I saw about him, he's a nice guy. And I have no doubt that Deontay Wilder, to me, I've never met Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder seems like a nice guy, man. The way that 78 Sports TV talks about him, the way that people are other people who've been around him say, man, Champ's a real down to earth. He's a real nice guy, right? People want to act like Deontay Wilder. Like when you try to tear down Deontay Wilder personally, that's why I do Deontay Wilder videos. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. I have big enough an audience where I'm gonna put a message out that's positive about Deontay Wilder. Because it's very clear that there are a lot of people who are just now really going way overboard on this dude, man. They're going way overboard on him. Anthony Joshua, I don't like Anthony Joshua, but I personally try not to go overboard with him. I don't believe he wants this fight. I don't believe when he said he's willing to take a fight, but the guy needs to be financially reasonable. That to me sounds like a guy that doesn't want the fight. Willing and want, saying those are two different things. But I'm not going to go so far as to say I think this dude is a bad person. I'm not going to say that I think this dude beats up his kid, or something like that, or that he's lying about, whatever. And people send me stuff like that. I don't engage in that, because this dude, at the end of the day, man, when everything's over with Anthony Joshua's career, I'm going to appreciate the fact that there was an Anthony Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua gives me something as a boxing fan to appreciate about the sport of boxing. The good is part of boxing. The bad is about part of boxing. If you don't have a team, if you don't have an opponent, there is no sport. Okay? If there wasn't my favorite moments in basketball were the Bulls playing the Detroit Pistons when I was a kid. Right? If there was no Detroit Pistons, and I hated the Detroit Pistons, except for Isaiah Thomas, but I hated them. Still, without them, I wouldn't have had those moments that I could really be involved and engaged in as a fan of boxing. Here, when we have conversations, I'll get to the conversation in the same thing, man. I don't have. Damn, I got to do an NDA. I don't have any need to wish something ill on people that don't agree with me. That's why I don't do response videos. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. God dog. I'll get this in a second. Hold on one second, man. Yeah, man. So I just don't have that need to I don't have the need to do that. What's going on? Anthony has a son. Let me go through this again. It's just crazy, man. How people do this. Speaking for bad boys, Robert Parrish and Bill Lamb, those them dogs. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Fannon, being from Detroit, we're glad to oblige you, dog. I hated them, dog. I hated them. I couldn't stand them damn dudes. But God dog, man, them were some great teams, man. God dog, yes, those are some great teams, man. Hold on, I gotta type this dude. Yes, he has it. Oh, hold on. All right, Wilder's not fighting this clown. It's not, if not 50-50. Yeah, man. That's something else, man. Like the 50-50. I'm sorry, man. I know I lost some people in the stream because, like I said, man, I got a job. Sometimes I got to do. What's going on, H-Town 713, man? Salute to you as well, man. Super J Junior the Superdog. Ali versus Frazier 3. They were partying for 48 straight. Bob still keeps that under his hat. Who was partying for 48 hours? Fannon being from yeah. Who was partying for no, you're talking about Ali and Ali was with them chicks. He had a whole that dude liked it, dog. Jim Quest X, oh shit, Jim Lampley just hit you with the NDA about the night. Yeah, dog. I just had to do. I don't get it, man. These cats be asking me to write, man. I'll do it though. NDAs, man, they like. Man, that shit takes like 10 minutes to do, dog, unless somebody really want to negotiate them. But anyway, Ali was known to party hard during camps. Yeah, dude, he was Ali. Dude liked some chicks. Hey, everybody got their weaknesses, man. AJ has a foot on, Wilder has an AJ's foot on his neck, and the pressure is real. You know who has this pressure on him? It's fight fans do. Fight fans do. I laid this out, man, for people the other day, man. And QuestX, you can appreciate this, okay? But I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to go through this again. The negotiation tactics that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom is using with Deontay Wilder is similar to the 1980s disarmament negotiations between the U.S. and Russia. And because I was going over it, because I was a fake negotiation, right? And I don't know the number. I don't know the numbers anymore, but this is the deal that they were offering another country, right? So you had like you have these ballistic missiles. I'm gonna lose this stream when I say this, but you got ballistic missiles, right? So say the U.S. had ballistic missiles on the European continent, and say that the United States had like 600 ballistic missiles. Russia had like 200 ballistic missiles, right? But the real military might between the two countries, it was like, the U.S. was way dominant, man. They were like no threat, right? That was the reality of it when Ronald Reagan was there, right? But they didn't really want to demilitarize Europe. They didn't want to get rid of their missiles. They weren't getting rid of them. They didn't want to get rid of them. But in order to do the things that they wanted to do, they had to have the backing of the U.S. public, right? So what they would do is they entered into these negotiations with no intent whatsoever of actually coming to any type of conclusion, any type of agreement, right? It was a fake negotiation. And the way they did it was they would say, okay, well, we'll get rid of ours, you get rid of some of yours. we'll go from whatever the number was, 600. We'll go from 600 to 500, and you go from 300 to none, right? So will decrease us. We'll still instead of having like a 6-3 advantage, we'll have a 5-0 advantage. And the other country's like, no, and they knew that going in because they never intended on doing it, right? But what they really wanted to do was continue to do the other things they want to do. So they would do that, and then they would constantly pump out media about how they were bad people, right? You ever talk to a Russian from America, that played tennis? My daughter plays tennis. They were like, God, dog, we're not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, we're not that bad. God, dog, y'all make us look. It's the same thing that Eddie Hearn did. He makes offers that Deontay Wilder, they know that Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel do not want, like a flat fee of $12.5 million. As soon as you say flat fee, they're like, there's no upside on this. I mean, you're offering me a paycheck, right? We're not going to take $12.5 million. We know what the numbers are. This thing could be $100 million fight. If this is a $100 million fight, then the gross you're offering us 12. That might be 12.5%. That's well below, and we're part of it, right? So it's just crazy, man. And people just believe whatever they want to believe, man. You know what I mean? Cats just believe whatever it is they want to believe, man, and just fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks for me, man. Let me go. What's this dude Big Dog status getting deleted for, man? You look like a mushroom. No, I don't. What is that, man? God, dog, man. It seems like either you trolls are just not funny or you're perverted. Is there any middle ground? You either just cornball or you're perverted. It's just like you either make me look at you like, did you think about that for a second? I look like a mushroom? Okay, I look like a mushroom. What do you want to talk about? I guarantee you this, dog. This mushroom gets his, boy. This mushroom been getting his. All right. Kidding me? Y'all are tripping, dude. Y'all are tripping, man. You guys get better at it, man. Try to find some middle way behind between psychopath and a gump. Okay, be somewhere between gimp and psychopath. Come in the middle a little bit, but that's going to take That's going to take some form of intelligence. Not even not intelligence, due diligence. You know what I mean? And on top of it, give up a point every once in a while. Okay, nobody believes you. If you never agree with anybody if you never agree with anything that somebody else says, more than likely, dude, you're just what's that word they like to use? An ideologue. An ideologue. These people even use the word ideologue. I don't have an ideology. I don't have an ideology. What's the ideology? What is this? Dog, I'm talking about a boxing match. You acting like God, dog, man. Y'all are tripping. Anyway, man, hey, man, what's Brian Chambliss, man? Thank you, sir. Much love in the super chat. Sorry, man, my gong was out of order. Much love. He said, Woo Daddy 36 said, Happy New Year and salute. Been rocking with you for a whole year now. Thank you, Woo Daddy. Much appreciation, man. 78 Sports TV in the building. These troll dudes in the comment sections be on the low. Much love in the super chat. Yeah, hey, dog. I mean, I know that of certain ones. 78, I'm telling you, man. Dude tried to make fun of me because he didn't find me as attractive as he finds Black Fight Fan TV. And the dude straight up thought I was going to be insulted. Good. If you think Black Fight Fan TV is a better looking man than me, good. Black Fight Fan TV, type it in Google and go over to his channel and let him deal with you. I'm happy for you not to. Fuck. You know how many people are better looking than me? And I could not care less. Except for I did have an ex-girlfriend one time started dating some. I didn't even really like the chick that much, but she started dating some dude, and I was like, damn, that nigga got game. Fuck. It is what it is, though, dog. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Y'all won't even want to lose, dog. God, dog, when you lost. I got a video coming out today, man, where I'm gonna run this back. Much love in the super chat, though, 78. They home. Yeah. I know, or I highly suspect anyway. I'll try to be as accurate as I can. I highly suspect, man. But much love for all the support, 78, man. Thank you for reaching out to me yesterday. I appreciate you, my man. Snacks be in the building. And these cats can't stand super chats for some reason. Lord have mercy. What is wrong with those super chats? They acting like shit. Much love, super chat. Snacks be in the building. What's wrong with people giving super chats? These motherfuckers be killing me. Oh Lord. Anyway, man, it is what it is, man. Let me get off them boys, man. That's enough. You missed my Johnny John. I missed your super chat. Hold on. I gotta Johnny John in the building. Thank you. Oh, actually, I missed the several. Let me go back. Toot Robinson. I got Toot Robinson. J Bird 904, man. Thank you so much, man. Johnny John in the building, man. Shout out to the UK, man. And thank you, J Bird 904. Thank you, sir, man. I do really, really respect you coming to the channel, man. I saw your comment earlier, man. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you, man. Also, the Kinsey Thomas Network, the Kinsey Thompson Network. Much love to Fannon, new channel, LDBC UK. Much love in the UK, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Let me go and make sure Chambliss, okay, Woo Daddy, 36, 78, and Snacks. I got you. Thank you. And you got me, man. Thank you for holding down the show, man. It's much, much appreciated. It's much appreciated. Oh, King said from the UK too. Man, I'm cool, man. Keith Smith, man. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, man. Look, man, and this is the thing. Thank you from the UK. Dude, dog, look, man. Dog, I love UK boxing, man. It's these dudes, and this is another thing, man. Why people from the I mean, I would love to be able to just know who these people are, man. So I can really see like who am I dealing with? Because I don't know the UK. Who am I actually dealing with? What kind of people am I dealing with? Because most people that I've met from the UK that come to the United States, those cats are cool. I mean, cats are cool. Like people I met from Australia, these people are cool. Australia, like Jeff Horn fans, because man, I haven't seen my Sleep with One Eye Open in a minute, man. I hope Jeff Horn makes a comeback so I can see Sleep with One Eye Open again in the chat. But most of these cats are reasonable people, man. And I know cats and boxing fans in the UK are good. I watched Box Nation for years, listening to the way they call fights and how neutral they call the fights, how what they're actually seeing matches a little more closely with what I'm seeing versus what you see, what you would see in Showtime, in HBO boxing or a Paulie Malignaggi. That dude right there. But these cats over here, man, nothing wrong with your looks. Ignore the weirdos. Oh, man, I'm cool. I mean, there's something wrong. I got a little belly right here, dude. But we working to get it off, man. We working to get it off, man. These dudes be bugging. Oh, Keith Smith, peace to you as well, man. They did the same with Wilter Stilt. What's Wilter Stilt? What about Wilter Stilt? Did I miss something? Wonder if Floyd would lend me some of his hookers. No, you gotta pay. You gotta pay for them. You can't lend them. You gotta buy. You gotta pay for that. Rothwell, what do you think will survive in the future as a dominant combat sport, MMA or boxing? Figuring impact of fixed fights. Boxing will. Easy. That's not even tough. That's not even a tough one. Boxing will. You predict the future based on the past. Okay? And boxing is established. It has a long-standing track record of success that has lasted what is it really start popular around, like just after slavery, like the 1870s in the US, like the 1870s. I believe it was the early 1800s or late 1700s in Europe. So in the United States, you have 120 years of boxing. Dude, it's not going anywhere, man. The mechanism by which it might get delivered, it's not going anywhere. That infrastructure is stuck, man. It's not going away. Sports in the United States, it don't go. What sport has gone away? You know, I don't know of any major sport in the United States that has just stopped being played, stopped being televised. It's the kind of one-off things that go away, right? Like if you come up with something that might be a brand new sensation, like what was it? What was the sport they used to play? Like not hacky sack, but they used to have these like curved. It was really hot in the 90s, 80s, but it was like these curved paddles with balls in it. It was kind of some mixture between lacrosse. It's like lacrosse, but it was a different type of handle. But anyway, it was like a little curved, and they used to ball and play like field hockey with that. But it wasn't called field hockey. That shit's gone. You know, it's gone. Pickleball is big now, around. But pickleball can come and go. But baseball, basketball, football, boxing, track and field, tennis, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. The relative popularity of sports might change. Like basketball might be a little more popular than baseball now, but it wasn't popular. But now you got 30, 40, not a lot, 30, 40. You got 70 years of basketball. That's just not going anywhere. There you go. Got my NDA done. See, did you hear that go bleep, bleep, bleep? That was a paycheck. Why would I be mad at you? I just got paid. Did you some motherfucker sent me? Hey, Fannon, can you send me an NDA? Did you send that? Yes, I already sent it. He already got it. Got it. Okay, great. Great. Thank you very much. And this Friday, check hits bank. Not hard to do, homie. See, you multitask. You multitask. Every country, man, has an NDA. What's for breakfast for 9? Nothing, man. I don't eat till 1 o'clock, dog. I'm working, man. Hey, Michael Jackson's new album is coming in 2019. What? No, Michael, damn, that's crazy, man. For now, as long as your wife likes the light-skinned milk dud, look, don't worry what others say. Dog, you have no clue until you're bald. I'm telling you. You have no clue until you're bald. What women think about bald heads. Let me tell you, dog. The best thing that ever happened to me was that I lost my hair. I mean, as far as that goes, losing your hair, dog. Seriously, man, you're making fun of a millionaire, dude. You're making fun of me for my milk dud is like making fun of somebody who hit the lottery, dog. Okay. Because if I had not gone bald, I might never have actually cut all my hair off, man. I might never have started, shaving. I never would have started shaving my head. But trust me, dog, the less hair I had, the better life got in that regard. So there's a whole bunch of women like milk duds, but you won't know, dog, because cats are all twisted up and trying to put, natural roots and berries in their head, man, and don't realize, dog, that don't mean anything. Like I said, to see how many of you guys got, how many of you men in this comment section got crushes on Black Fight Fan TV, dog? You seen the hair on his head? Y'all are bugging, dog. Same with my old look. I'm trying to tell you, when your hairline is in a race to the back of your head, dog. Yeah, that's when you cut it off. When you start fading out, dude, just let it go. I'm telling you, it's easy. It's easy. Unless you got a Scottie Pippen head. If you got those wrinkles running up and down your head, man, you might want to keep it. But come on, man. I was late 30s. I let my hair go in my 30s. It was not like, my hair was thinning. All of a sudden, I was like this dude who's bald. Man, I was in his car. We were riding around handing campaign flyers out. and I saw a razor. A razor dropped on his floor, and I picked up the razor. I was like, "Hey man, by the way, you dropped your razor." Dude looked at me and was like, "You can keep it." I was like, he was like, "You can keep it. It's time." I was like, "Damn." Shave my head, dog. Never skipped a beat. It's easy to, yeah, absolutely it is, man. I got an M&M. You say you got snacks, so I got an M&M. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Y'all don't know. I got a full 360 wave pattern. I'm only 27 though. Hey, man, like if you got your 360 wave, all that, that's cool. That's cool. But dog, when it starts going, let it go. When it's time to let it go, dog. Seriously, let it go. Ain't no need to hanging on to something, dog. Hey, thanks, Rennie. I appreciate it, man. Oh shit, majority of brothers got a bald head. I'm thinking I'm going bald as well. Yeah, man, dog. You don't know. I don't know. Hey, dude, my brother and father, older than me, got full head. Well, my dad now is 80, and he doesn't have a full head of hair, but he grows a lot more hair than I do. It's my mother's father that was. It was my mother's father that was bald, and got me. 360s. I tried to tell my son what 360s are, but he's like, yeah, man, my son can only get like one wave. Like he'll have like, he's growing his into some crazy bush curly thing. But if I wanted to get it neat, but it stays straight until it gets a certain length. But then he'll probably have like one wave, two wave, one wave, two wave, one wave, two wave. But I want to convince him to do it because that other crap, dog. Oh, bald is beautiful, dog. Trying to tell you, cats don't know, man. Cats don't know. And there's a certain amount of confidence you need. Like you don't, I don't care. I don't need hair. I don't need hair. Ladies love bald heads or waves. Ain't no in between. Yeah, I'm holding on as long as I can, swimming right now, but my old man bald. I hope I don't go there. Hey, man, it's gonna happen. Look, man, when you can hold a mirror to the back of your head, I'm like, hold the mirror to the front and look at the mirror behind you, and you see that patch right here, right? And if you go a period of time trying to brush over that mug, dog, it's about time to go. But I was never really attached to my hair anyway, man. I was never super attached to it. Definitely don't have any. Yeah, don't have no issues, dog. And it's T lines. Yeah, I got that 2.0 Beehive 360. I want to put all the fade on the side sometimes. They love the locks. Yeah, I could never grow locks. My locks wouldn't. I never tried to. That wasn't my thing, dog. Calorie intake. Yeah, if you're trying to lose weight, calorie intake is usually the problem. Oh, you know what, Gravy Dave? You had dreads to your shoulder with a forehead started relief. Yeah, but see, you know why? More than likely, people with dreads go bald up here because men's follicles are not supposed to be getting pulled down. If you pull back on your follicles, dude, it's gonna eventually your hairline's gonna recede. You need to take a break from that. If you're gonna have dreads and stuff, you need to go periods of times without braids. Or you got to have them hang down this way. Otherwise, dude, you're pulling your hair on that follicle, man, and eventually it's gonna go away. Just like you cats with S curls, you put S curl shit, you put that shit burning your head up. Eventually, you're gonna go bald. It's gonna ruin the follicles. Your hair won't be able to grow. I don't think men are supposed to. I mean, that's why people started cutting their hair because this shit you'll go bald, especially if you pull it back. You pull it back into a bun. That's a lot of stress there, man. Braids and dreads, most dudes go bald. Yeah, you driving yourself bald up here by putting all that weight on your hair follicles. But anyway, man, it is what it is. I started going thin at top of my head like my granddad did. I whacked it. Yep, got to do it, man. But let's get back to this boxing because there's a couple things I wanted to talk about, man. I'm gonna get on. Leon F, man, we talk about whatever we want to talk about, dude. Come on, man. Don't dig it. Don't try to dictate, man. Enjoy the conversation, man. You can have some good laughs, man. Let me check this super chat and make sure that I did not miss somebody, as I do so much appreciate you. Oh, yeah, I did. Keith Smith. Look, man, MMA fighters better stop fighting boxers. Okay? Dana Jones said he was adamant that What's his name? God, dog, how you pronounce his name? Khabib. Man, that dude's a beast. That Khabib, that Floyd Mayweather got to fight Khabib in the UFC in MMA UFC rules. Because that on top of which sport will go away, if y'all keep fighting boxers in the boxing ring, you will go away because you're going to get humiliated. Dude, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has humiliated mixed martial arts twice. And that second one was worse. Dog. Don't act like, I'm not saying that you're acting like, but people don't act. All of a sudden, this became some massive mismatch after the fight was over. Before it was some kickboxing superstar from Japan that was going to wind up putting a hurt on him. Floyd ain't stupid. He ain't going to kickbox you. He beat that boy up. He beat that boy up. Like in dog, it might as well have been me in there. It might as well have been me. Maybe the only difference between me boxing Floyd Mayweather and that kid boxing Floyd Mayweather Jr. is I might not got up after the first one. I might have been like, where's my check? That boy, humiliated. That dude, you could tell Floyd didn't even train. He didn't even train. Showed up 2 hours late, didn't have a training camp, didn't want the fight aired in the United States, went in there and beat that boy up. Beat him up. Probably mentally ruined the dude. And Manny Pacquiao's like, I'll fight somebody my own size, who's my own age. No. 20-year-olds are supposed to be able to beat up, my own size, my own weight class, something like that. Experience. Dude, 20-year-old, dude, that boy don't need to fight a boxer. And if the MMA continues to allow those type of things to happen, where MMA stars, I know that kid was a Japanese star, he wasn't in the UFC or whatever, he was with Resin or whatever. If they continue to do that with boxers, they're not going to be feared. They're not going to be feared. Right now, there's some question about whether people really believed in the MMA community that Conor McGregor had a chance against Floyd Mayweather Jr. They believed it. I did videos on it. I was talking to people in MMA, and I was like, "You're nuts." I remember I was doing videos about the difference between boxing and MMA. Okay. All right, it's not the same sport. You have smaller gloves. You have shoes on versus no shoes on. You have a different. I mean, it's all kind of the amount of punching, the training just to punch is different than all kind of different technical things. But at the end of the day, the people who didn't pay attention to those things thought the guy could actually beat him And we're like, no, man. But they believed it because Conor McGregor had that aura around him, right? MMA versus boxing, MMA superstar, boxing superstar. Then a boxing superstar carries him and then knocks him out. Doesn't even fight his usual style. Like, I'm just going to walk to you and knock you out. Easy money. You can't even hurt me. You can hit me and you can't hurt me because you don't know how to. This is what I do. But the aura of super bad guy is going to go away if you keep doing that, man. To me, that was a major hit against mixed martial arts, just within the perception of people that watch it. Not the fact that, what do you think will happen in a street fight? That whole street fight conversation is ridiculous to me. Because in a street fight, I'm gonna hit you with a bat. That's a street fight. You know what I mean? We're talking about a martial art. That's not a street fight. A martial art is not a street fight, right? If I'm in the street, anything goes in the street. Anything goes. You can pull something out your pocket. You know what I mean? That's what that is. It's not the same thing. But as a combat sport, if they keep doing that, it's gonna make people walk away from them because they'll be like, nah, these dudes ain't really they're just not as tough as we thought they were. Maybe there's something wrong with the art form, right? Because they're not going to actually think that they really are two different. They're all martial arts, right? Boxing is a martial art, right? Mixed martial arts is the use of several different martial arts. But when you have just like somebody that is trained in, I guess, I don't know, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and you have them fight a judo, an Olympic judo, what do you call him, a judo fighter, right? Somebody that is, is a master of judo, and you have them fight under the rules of judo, right? The Olympic rules for judo, where it's basically grappling and wrestling. Dude, that dude more than likely is going to lose. Now, I don't know that much about the two of those, but you get my point. But eventually, they're going to wind up looking bad. And Floyd Mayweather, the way he beat that dude, the kid didn't belong in the ring with him. That was a bloody mismatch. For an old man who didn't even train, Floyd walked out with a gut. Floyd had a gut. I would be interested to know what he weighed in at. Floyd looked like he weighed in at 160, 155, 160. Crazy, dude. Don't do that anymore. UFC, MMA fighters don't fight boxers in boxing anymore, okay? Because it works both ways. You thought it would destroy boxing if an MMA fighter beat him in boxing. But it doesn't matter. It's just who wins the fight. Don't do it anymore, dog. It makes you guys look really bad. And flabby arms. Absolutely, dude. Dude looked terrible, man. Physically, he looked terrible. But as far as what he hit that boy with, Lord have mercy. Hey, man. Gregory White in the super chat, man. Much love in the super chat. He said, greetings, brothers and sisters. Troll Hunter reporting for duty. Back in the U.S., baby. You back in that sunshine, dog. You back in that sunshine. You left the sunshine, man. I hope you enjoyed it out there. Yes, sir. Floyd looked like me, and I drank, and him drank 40s for a week. Exactly, dog. It's terrible, man. Don't ever do that again, Ella. Hey, UFC fighters, please, Lord, please don't do it anymore. Okay? Khabib, don't do it. Khabib, don't do it. All right? If they offer you some money, I mean, if you offer the money, you get a lot of money to fight Errol Spence Jr. in a boxing match, take the money. But take some of that money and make sure you get some good insurance, okay? Because the boy is going to hurt you, dude. All right? He's going to hurt you. That's what they do. Boxers train to punch. That's what they get. They get to punch, right? They move with their feet. They move, they shift, defend punches. They know how not to get hit cleanly by people who know how to punch. Y'all don't really know how to punch like they know how to punch, and you'll get tired a lot more quickly because you're training. You only have so much training. And if you're training on your legs, you're training on your grappling, you're training on all that, dude, these dudes are throwing thousands and thousands of punches, right? That bag, that's repetition. All they're doing is punch. I don't know how many 500, 600, 700,000 punches they'll just sit there and throw. Those are punches, okay? They can get that shit off, right? These cats are taking body shots, man. They're used to taking body shots against guys. Y'all ain't used to that, dog. Don't do it. Don't do it. Khabib got to get cut up by Fergie's elbows before he even thinks about boxing. Oh man, I like Khabib, man. I like Amanda Nunes. Hey man, much respect to Chris Cyborg. I really like Chris Cyborg. I root for Chris Cyborg, but I didn't make any MMA videos. But I told Coach after the fact, I was like, I don't know, Amanda Nunes, that chick can brawl, dog. And I didn't like how Chris Cyborg looked against how she looked against Holly Holmes. And I was like, there's some youth to this, man. There's some youth issue. There's a youth issue here, you know? But anyway, it is what it is. Off topic, glad you clapped at those. Oh, what's going on, John Boxing? Yeah, man, every once in a while you do it, man. But I got another one coming out today, man, where I'm going to lay this out, dog. And it's not for the trolls. It's just, look, man, stop lying on Deontay Wilder and saying stupid things, okay? I'm still getting responses to videos about Tyson Fury being the draw in the United States. And, oh, that's what I was saying to Quest X. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Quest, if you're still there. The other part of that, which was, going into a negotiation, was saying a bunch of shit about him, right? That isn't true. Making them look like the bad guy and trying to tear them down and everything else they did. And when you have people doing that to Deontay Wilder, saying that he's not popular in the United States, that he's not known in the United States, right? That the Tyson Fury fight wasn't going to happen. And then if it did less than 1 million, it was a failure. Like, how in the world, when the vast majority of pay-per-views in the United States do less than 1 million, right? The overwhelming majority of them do it. It's an exception when it gets to 1 million. And it always has been an exception when it gets to the million. When you get to 1 million, that's like exceptional. That's like, dog, y'all just made $100 million with the prices. But they said, oh, if it does less than 1 million, then, oh, you know, like, hold on, man. You trying to make it a failure? People would ask me, what do I think it's going to do? I said 300 to 350,000. And I said, this is how many views that he always gets. It's not my emotions telling me that. It's the fact that he does 1 million. When he fights on Fox, he did 1 million, 1.8, 1.7, 1.8 million on Fox. He fights on Showtime. He does 1.1, 1.2 million on Showtime, right? Every time he comes out to fight, dang near, with the exception, I think, maybe of like the maybe the Bermain-Severn rematch that nobody wanted to see because they wanted to see the Luis Ortiz fight or the Anthony Joshua fight. Other than that fight, which I think did close to 900,000, he's always doing over 1 million. So why in the world why would I not think he's going to do 300,000 pay-per-view? Right? That's just simple. 1 out of 3 people that watch him every time would want to watch him on pay-per-view. But they want to make an argument that it's Tyson Fury. So anyway, I did an analysis. The video's coming out, man, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, get your pens. Get your pens out, okay? Because I approached it another way. And I did this originally in a conversation on talking to y'all. Gravy Davy in the building, man. I'm sorry, that's not Gravy Davy. That's Gregory Wyatt in this mug. What's good, man? Gregory Wyatt. Wow, man. Running slow. Fannon, Ghana, Benin, Togo, Nigeria is full of perfectly blue-black honeys. I thought about you when I had an acre. Yeah, my wife is in the other room, but Lord have mercy, you know that's some greatness. Respect for that, dog. Oh, man, that's the superstar shit there, dog. And that's the baller. By the way, Gregory Wyatt's the baller, not me, dog, just so you know. That's the baller, all right? That's the baller right there, Gregory Wyatt. But yeah, man, according to my calculations, Tyson Fury should get credit for about 25,000 of the people that 25,000 of the 320. If you say it was 325,000, 25,000 or 7.8% of the people that watched paid for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury were interested in Tyson Fury. That 25,000. And let me tell you how I came up with that number. And I think this is fair, right? Because you're basing it on facts. You're basing it on mathematics. Okay? How can we make something like this, which we don't know? How can we come up with a reasonable estimate? Can we agree upon a way that you agree upon a way in which you analyze the problem? So what I did was, and like I said, it's in the video, so it's there. Check it out. Share it like they do. And you cornball, stop asking people. I listened to some video this dude did with 78 because I was just passing through troll channels last night because I had a trollful experience. So, and no need. I appreciate you people telling me about stuff with minor children in it. Minors, by the way. She's a minor, okay? You're a creep. A minor. Aside from things that involve minors, I don't really care about what trolls got to say. I don't, because they're trolling. That's what they're doing. They're like the motherfucker under the bridge that you're walking by and doing something there. I'm here. I don't care about them dudes. But anyway, I passed through and this dude put in the comment section, share this. Go at 78 in this comment section. Link this in his comment section. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? If you got something about yourself, you don't need to tell nobody to link somebody else in your comment section. But anyway, let me go through the numbers. All right, so Errol Spence Jr. on CBS fought on NBC, and Tyson Fury fought on NBC. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to convert. The end of this is I'm going to convert Tyson Fury's NBC numbers to Showtime numbers. Taking into consideration, the reasons you have to do that is because everybody in the country has NBC, and a lot smaller number have Showtime. So you can't do a one-for-one comparison of them. It's not fair to either guy. All right. If Deontay Wilder fought on NBC and Tyson Fury had only fought on Showtime, it would be unfair to compare those two numbers because there's a lot bigger pool that Deontay Wilder could pull from. So what I did was I looked at what Errol Spence Jr. did, because Deontay Wilder has never fought on NBC, not that I found, but Errol Spence Jr. did. And Errol Spence Jr. had 6.3 million people watch him against Leonard Bundu. And in his last fight against, where he headlined against Carlos Ocampo, he did 638,000, which was 10%, right? So with that you adjust it, and you say, okay, is that fair? Well, I think it's fair because Errol Spence Jr. is more popular now than he was when he fought Leonard Bundu, right? So if he was fighting on NBC now, his numbers might be better. They're definitely not going to be worse. So I think that's fair. So just take 10% of the number that Tyson Fury got on NBC, transition that down to take 10% of that and apply it to Showtime, right? That's fair. That's how you can prorate it. And it's based on what Errol Spence Jr. did, not what Deontay Wilder did, right? So if you do that, you take that, the numbers, the prorated number for Tyson Fury on Showtime using his best U.S. performance would be 171,000, which makes sense to me because Anthony Joshua, who they put a lot of promotion behind and had fought on Showtime before, did what was it against Carlos Takam? 400,000 or something like that with Carlos Takam? Not Carlos Takam. Joseph Parker, I think he did 200,000 or something like that with Carlos Takam. But, 400,000, 450, 460,000 with Joseph Parker. Makes sense to me. Deontay Wilder does 1.3 million on Showtime. I didn't take the Fox ones where he did 1.7, 1.8, but Bermain Stavern was 1.2. So what percentage is 171,000 from 1.24 million? 7.8%. So what is 7.8% of 30? What's 7.8% of 325,000? Lowballing, right? It's like 25,000. So according to the only actual statistical evidence you can use to support your case, other than having the pay-per-view receipts, and if you do that, then you got to do nations, and they're all coming from the United States. So you can't do that. I could go the other way and take Deontay Wilder's numbers and multiply them by 10% and multiply them by 10, right? If you did that, you would get over 10 million on NBC, which is equivalent to what Errol Spence Jr. did. So just you take out the obvious fact that Deontay Wilder's from the United States and it's his network, and Tyson Fury's he's never headlined a card on Showtime, let alone had a pay-per-view that was marketed to Showtime customers, because you got to remember the pay-per-view is also marketed on Showtime. So the pay-per-view is being marketed on Showtime, and the only people they can market to on Showtime are Showtime subscribers. It's the same base that 1 million people come out of to see Deontay Wilder. Now, am I being biased? Am I making up numbers? These are the numbers. Come up with a formula Apply the formula to the numbers and you get 7. The very fair formula that I use, I get 7.8% or 25,000 people, which makes sense because he's from the UK. It makes sense that 25,000 people would come watch him fight. You know why? Because that's about how many people would watch Dillian Whyte if Dillian Whyte came to the United States. Dillian Whyte did fight on a card in the United States against Carlos Takam. And I'm telling you, that's about how many people watched that fight. About 25,000. Dog, I'm not being, is the numbers biased? Something wrong with the formula that I use? Y'all are, hey man, seriously, man. But, go run and talk about something completely unrelated, like, God, dog, whether or not my wife is too light-skinned. Something like that. You know what the fuck you talking about, man? Anyway, but the UK show is on a Prime channel, so how does pay-per-view numbers lower for Fury than Wilder because Fury fans are overseas? Hold on, let me ask this. Rich, that doesn't make a lot of sense. The question doesn't. But the UK show, it on premium channel. So how does pay-per-view numbers are lower for Fury than Wilder because Fury's fans are overseas? I have no clue what you're talking about, dude. I'm comparing the fans that watch. You cannot buy U.S. pay-per-views overseas. And the question is, who was responsible for the 325,000 pay-per-views that were on American TV? I'm not asking who was responsible for the pay-per-view on BT Sports, because that's the UK. You go the other way with that. I'm not going to argue and say that there's a bunch of Americans in the UK that are responsible for Tyson Fury's pay-per-view numbers in the UK. The people that buy the Showtime pay-per-view are in the United States. We're talking about the people that bought the pay-per-view. That's the subject of it. The 325,000 to 400,000 people that bought the pay-per-view. What percentage of them would it be reasonable to assume were there to see Deontay Wilder, that paid for it to see Deontay Wilder? And what percentage would it be reasonable to assume came to see Tyson Fury or paid to see Tyson Fury? Okay, well, what do you use to figure that out? How many people in in the United States, because that's the only pool of people that can buy it. How many people usually watch Deontay Wilder and how many people usually watch Tyson Fury? Neither one of them had been on pay-per-view in the United States before. So you got to extrapolate from some number. If you're going to be, and to the extent that you can make a valid argument, you have to use numbers that are there. Tyson Fury just so happens to have a track record of viewership in the United States on NBC. And those are NBC are the people that were watching it were in America. You can't, I'm not comparing UK fans, right? I'm not going to, we're talking about United States fans, US pay-per-view. They don't even release, I've never even heard of anybody telling me how many people bought the UK, the Deontay Wilder versus Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury in the UK. I heard rumors that it was 100,000. And if he did 100,000, I heard rumors that it was 100,000. If he did 100,000 in the UK, how in the world can you give him credit for 250, 300,000 in the US? I mean, I shouldn't have to make this argument because it's just blatantly obvious just on his face. But anyway, you cut that pie. Anyway, any way that you analyze it based on actual numbers, whether it's the demographics of the area of the country in which they are deriving their viewership pool, or the historical data of viewership of the fighters, either way you cut that, it turns out that Deontay Wilder is the one most likely to have been the main draw in that fight. And to argue anything otherwise is not logical. And it's not based on any actual facts. Tyson Fury did 1.7 million, had 1.7 million on a card on NBC. And that was fighting an American, Steve Cunningham. Dude, Steve Cunningham could do what I'm on NBC, and I can't support this. That's why I didn't add it to my argument. I believe that if Steve Cunningham fought Talib, what's the name of the cruiserweight? What's the name of the cruiserweight? God dog, I always miss his name. But if he fought another American cruiserweight, then 1.7 million people would watch that on NBC. Because it's almost impossible for people not to watch it. You're going to pass by it. It's on NBC. But the UK shows, I already looked at that. Yeah, I don't know, but honestly, you got to rewrite your question, man, because that was really, that wasn't written well. That wasn't written. We talking MMA? What's MMA? Oh, okay. You could just compare if Wilder would have a pay-per-view before against a top 10 opponent. The matchup did sell and will sell even more in the rematch. Let me see. You could compare if Wilder would have a pay-per-view before. Yeah, it would be easier if he had had a previous pay-per-view. It'd be easier, but he doesn't. But I'm telling you, I knew what the number. I'm going to tell you why I predicted that number. People asked me, how many do you think it'll do? And I told you, between 300 and 350. They're like, do you think it'll do 500? I'm like, nah, I don't think it'll do 500. I don't think it'll do 500,000 pay-per-views. Do you think it'll do 1 million? No, I don't think it's going to do 1 million pay-per-views. I mean, you can go check my record on it. Go back to the videos. People that can attest to this that asked me the question. Because I was like, this is going to do well. This will do well. But what is well? 300,000 and above is well. It's very good. And the reason I say that that's good is because I look at the historical performance of other pay-per-views. The first time that Canelo Alvarez was on a pay-per-view by himself, it did like 300,000. It did like 300,000 pay-per-views. You got to look at who's fighting, who are they fighting, and when you only have one guy, and that guy is popular within his demographic, either the African American demographic or the Spanish speaking demographic, they're going to get between 300 and 400,000 pay-per-views. It was the truth when Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought Andre Berto. I think it's fair to say that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is very well known in the United States, and that Andre Berto was not the attraction. What did he do? 400,000? I don't think he got to 500,000, but maybe 400,000 pay-per-views, because that is the core fan base of Floyd Mayweather. So I said, I'm just going to look at the core fan base. I'm looking at the core fan base because they're the same people. It's not like Floyd Mayweather Jr. has the actual people who buy his fights are different than the actual people. If you had their names and addresses, then watch Deontay Wilder. It's just more of them might have watched it. And people who watch Floyd Mayweather who are not in his demographic, right, wouldn't watch Deontay Wilder. But if you put Floyd Mayweather Jr. on HBO, I can probably do this. What was this viewership on HBO? Right? When he headlined a card. I'd have to go back to this one. But let me see. What was Mayweather? Mayweather versus Morales. That's actually even a bigger one. But Mayweather versus Mitchell. Viewership. If I can pull it up quick, if they give it to me, then Oh, was he pay-per-view with Mitchell? I don't think he was. No, I think that was pay-per-view. So you got to even go back further than that. So what's Mayweather versus? I don't know who was a good one because he's been on pay-per-view so long, man. But if you look at it, maybe Corrales. Oh, no. Mayweather versus, Corrales. Let's just do Corrales. He's close enough to a black dude. Well, he is one. But, yeah, it doesn't pop up too quick. But if I did the numbers, I would suspect he'd do somewhere around 1 million. $1 million and like 1 point on HBO, Maybe 1.5 million probably watch that fight. Would watch him fight on HBO if he headlined a card before he was a pay-per-view account. Some rough equivalent of the same amount of people that will watch Deontay Wilder because it's his demographic. And it's just amazing to me that people from outside the United States, whether you're from Africa or whether from the UK, would act as if there's not a core fan base of American black fight fans. Or there's something wrong with a person that would point that out. There is. Okay? We got, how many, I don't know how many people, how many Europeans are buying pink oil moisturizer, but shit, they are selling pink oil moisturizer to a lot of people in black communities. Okay, I'm not sure how much Indian hair weaves they're selling, to Eastern Europeans, but they sell a hell of a lot of black neighborhoods because they know that's what black people in black neighborhoods want. Okay, that's just what it is, and that's sales. You have customers. You want to identify the people that you're selling to. So, but to say that Deontay Wilder doesn't have a fan base is basically saying that there is no consumer base of African Americans in the United States, which is, it's just wrong, number one, but it's not well thought through. Either you didn't really think it through, you don't understand how it works and didn't think it through, or you're just not telling the truth. But none of that can change the fact that I know what it's going to be, because we're roughly 50 million. There's roughly 50 million black people in America, and we love sports. And of that 50 million people that love sport, black people, half of them, 25 million of them, love sports. Say 50 million, half of them are adults. Okay, let's just say half of them are adults. Okay, we'll cut that down to 25, right? So 25 of them love sports. 50% of that like boxing, right? What's 50% of 25 is 12.5 million, right? Half of those 12.5 million are avid boxing fans, right? So that's 6.2 million people. No, half of them are boxing fans. Let me make sure I get there. 50 million, cut that in half to 25 million, okay, of us that can watch sports. You take that $25 million, and you say 25 million of them are athletic fans. Of that 25 million, you cut that in half and say that's 12.5 million are boxing fans. You cut that 12.5 million by half, and you get about 6 million people who consider themselves avid boxing fans or moderate to avid boxing fans. Right? And then you say how many of them are willing to pay for a fight or watch one with Deontay Wilder. What's so hard about that? What's so confusing? 25 million sports fans, right? Or 12 million sports fans. 6 million of them are boxing fans. I actually got that wrong. 6 million of those are boxing fans, right? Half of that, 3 million of them are avid boxing fans. That's the numbers, right? 50 million, cut that in half, say 25 million people who can be sports fans. Of the 25 million, 12 of them are sports fans. Of that 12 million, cut that in half, and 6 million of them are either avid or casual boxing fans. You cut that in half, and you say 3 million of them consider themselves to be active or avid boxing fans. 3 million. So Deontay Wilder, who's not as popular as, who is gets 1 million people that 1 out of 3 of them watch him in his fights. And one out of 3 of them watch him in his fights. That's 1 million. Right? Either because they weren't available, they didn't know about the fight, they had something else to do, they just don't like Deontay Wilder, whatever reason. He gets 1 out of 3 avid boxing fans to watch him. That's 1 million people. And then up there, you say 1 out of 3 is willing to buy it. That's 300,000. I mean, you can walk down from the top. That's how people can predict why they want to do a pay-per-view with somebody. Then the question is, why did Showtime decide to do it now? They keep asking the question, why after 40 fights? Because he now has proven to them that he is worth the risk. Because every time he goes on TV, 1 million people watch. So they're like, if we get 1 out of 3 of them, if we get 2 out of 10 of them to pay for it, we can break even with that exaggerated break even point. Not even throwing out, $250,000 break even point. Dude, why in the world is this? I gotta ask you a question. Why is an HBO's break-even point for Canelo Alvarez, for a Gennady Golovkin fight? Why is that 70,000 views? 70,000, but Deontay Wilder's break-even point is 250,000. I don't know if that's true or not true, but that's what I had read. That HBO knew, as long as that's why HBO put people on pay-per-view. That's why they put Gennady Golovkin on pay-per-view. Because they knew if they could get 70,000 people to buy for it, they didn't have to come out of their budget for it. But anyway, man, it's just, it is what it is, dog. It is what it is, man. And what time am I? What am I? Okay, I'm at an hour 15, man. Look, man, I appreciate everybody coming to the chat, man. It's a lot of fun. I'm about to let me see. Probably over 400K in reality, but see, you don't even have to do that with people, man. You just do the conservative numbers. Mark, I'm gonna do the conservative numbers. And it's proportional. That equation is proportional. It could have been 1 million, it could have been whatever. Now, if it was 1 million pay-per-views, then I'd be like, oh, Tyson Fury was popular. Then I would be like, damn, Tyson Fury is really popular. Tyson Fury must have about 300,000. He must have 150, 200,000 real fans out there who are talking this up. That's what, if Tyson Fury had the same type of popularity as Deontay Wilder, then you're talking about a fight that would do 1 million pay-per-view. Because you're talking about something like Errol Spence, and the numbers I walked through, those are Errol Spence's numbers. There's nobody in their right mind that would think that Tyson Fury is more popular than in the United States than Errol Spence Jr., right? It's just silly, man. It's just silly. It'll do at least 600K. But now the fight, but see, here it is. Even with the rematch, it's still going to be the same thing. They won't even air. I'm guarantee you this. They would not air a Tyson Fury pay-per-view with anybody in the United States. You could put Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, and they would not put that on American pay-per-view. And I know that to be the truth because they didn't put Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko on pay-per-view. And that is easily as big a fight as Deontay Wilder is Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. And Vladimir Klitschko has more experience in the U.S. Showtime and HBO wouldn't put that on pay-per-view. Why would they put anything with any fight with Tyson Fury against on a pay-per-view? They wouldn't do it. Because he doesn't have a track because he's not from here. But it's just, hey, man. I don't know what to do. Floyd became pay-per-view because people wanted him to lose. They hated Floyd. Hey, man, by the way, subscribe to KQKC Boxing. Yeah, we got 154 likes in the building, man. That's what's up. I appreciate it. But look, man, I'm going to roll up out of here. I'm going to check these super chats. By the way, bro, man, I burped. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Look, man, people showing support for the channel is much, much appreciated. It's absolutely not necessary. Because I use the revenue from the ads and I use the money from the super chat to support the causes that we support. Okay. And those causes are youth athletics and other LDBC channels. Okay. We got a lot of brothers out there making really good content who are pushing, who got their super chats going, have the ability to get them in their channels. So I ask people to subscribe, also go by their channels. And I basically match 30% of what I give to them, right? It's coming out of the chats, super chats that come on this channel. And other people do the same, thing, man. We operate as a community, okay? Operate as a community. And people that disagree, you're still in the boxing community. But I would hope that we wouldn't allow the type of things that goes on in East Side Boxing's, what do you call it? Their chat rooms and the old chat rooms from Max Boxing where people would talk about you in the worst way imaginable just because you disagree with them in about sports. I hate that is now coming into or people are trying to bring that into conversations on boxing YouTube channels and the chats and these ridiculous response videos are going on. If you're in the LDBC and you're doing a response video to people outside the LDBC, I would advise you not to do that because you don't need them. All you need is your mind and some dedication and some consistency. Okay? And you might not be able to do the same type of videos that I can do, that I do. And I can't, for example, I can't do the same type of videos that Black Fight Fan TV does. I can't do the same type of video that, even though the format's roughly the same, the 78 can do, right? Or Reef the Watcher can do different styles, But if you'll get a community of people that you can talk boxing to, man, who really appreciate your content and want to hear what you think and want to hear what you have to say about the sport of boxing. When you take that and you start using the forum, the boxing forum, as a way to attack other people personally, to attack their families, right? To imply things about them that even if you thought were true, have nothing to do with the sport of boxing, then you are no better than the people in those chats, the chat rooms. You're no different than the people that the LDBC was essentially formed to get away from. So it goes both ways. I'm not doing response videos to people. I'm not debating people. I got cats on the scribes like, hey, man, why don't you debate this person? No. I won't debate what? What is there to debate? I have an opinion. And I'm not interested in theirs. Can I help you? In about 5 minutes. What's up? Okay. Yeah. That's it. And I would ask you not to engage in it. But, at the end of the day, you got to do you. I ain't your daddy. You know what I mean? Let me check this chat real quick. Exactly. Hey, they're excluded. Yeah, they're excluded from the conversation. If they come and don't support their channel, please don't. If you see somebody do a video about 78 Sports TV and says something foul about him, block that channel from your page. If you see it in your stream, go to not interested. They'll ask you, why you want it removed from what you see, and you say not interested. Right? You don't have to flag the channel. You don't have to do that. You just leave them alone. Let them go away. Right? And then it's like they won't be there. But if you go to their video and you talk to them, that's what they want. They're begging for attention from you. They're not begging for attention from me. They're begging for attention from you. The people that watch the LDBC, the people that watch the channel, the people that support the channel, they want your attention. And if you give it to them, then you're encouraging them to continue to attack other people. Even if you go to their chat and you talk bad about them and chop them down in there, if you leave the comment, delete it. I went to that troll's channel yesterday. My comment's not there anymore. Boop, boop. I said what I had to say. Man, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't put my daughter's pictures in your videos. And you're glad that I didn't get to see you. He said he probably made another. I wouldn't doubt if he made another video today, because for that instance, I gave him what he wanted. But just for him to know, okay, I saw you, man. You crossed the line. Okay? If you're that desperate for attention, I will tell you, hey, man, I see you. Like the little kid sitting in the back of the room, waving his hand. I want to pay attention. I see you. I saw you, okay? You've been noticed. It's inappropriate, and you've been noticed. Now, back to my business. You know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is. Exactly. I have my opinion, and I'm not interested in theirs. It's what it is. Thank you, sir. And look, man, with that, I got to go. My baby girl keeps wants to ask me something. And with that, I'm out. Peace.